Hey YouTube, so we are installing a second radio in the Jeep. We have a CB radio in the Jeep, and there's a video that I posted on how to install a CB radio in a Gladiator. And I also have a video posted on how to tune a CB radio antenna, and it was on the same Gladiator, and you can see the antenna behind me. So the second radio that we're installing is a GMSR radio, or FRS sometimes they refer to it. So this would be a nicer radio than the other radio in my mind. However, some people have them, some people don't have them. So we have both radios, so then it depends on who we're with, so we can talk to whoever we're with, basically. The third type of radio that people sometimes run is ham radios, but those are very, very rare. They're the best, and you have to have a super fancy license and stuff to use it. But like this will cover us like 90% of the time between these two radios. The GMSR radios that we used to carry were the little walkie-talkies that were like the little handheld ones. The handheld ones are half a watt, and they're a rubber ducky antenna. So this right here is a 15-watt radio. It is kind of like a Cobra 75 if you have a Cobra 75 CB radio. It's all in one in the little handle, and then there's a little box that you mount underneath the dash. So I have the box right here. I'm just gonna quickly open it up and show you what's inside the box. Hey, so here's the stuff, brand new box. I'm gonna show you what's in it. So this right here would be the base unit. This goes under the dash somewhere, preferably. You can put it on your dash if you want to look cool, but I'm going to hide it. And I'm going to show you how I hide it when we get done. Then this right here is the actual base unit, and like I was saying, it looks like a Cobra 75, has buttons all over it. And pretty much this is going to go probably in the center console or something. And then I can pull it out when I want to use it, put it away when I don't want anybody to see it. It'll be super, super stealth. And then it has an external antenna. This is a little tiny baby external antenna, and it's magnetic. Yeah, I know. I ordered a different antenna that we're going to install. That is, I think they call it the ghost antenna. It's this little tiny itty bitty thing that we'll mount on there. So we'll figure out the antenna situation and put something on that's like pretty inconspicuous. And it also has with it this little like clip thing that you glue on your dash. We're not going to do that, to hold the mic on. And then here is the power for it. And yeah, we're going to cut this off and we're going to hardwire it to the Jeep probably. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do that. It'll be hardwired the same way we did on the CB radio. So I'm going to set it up, and then afterwards I'm going to show you what we did. Hey YouTube, I'm going to show off how we did the Midland GMSR radio, the install on the Jeep Gladiator. So first off, there's a big ass ugly CB antenna that you can see there with a Cobra 75. So for the GMSR, I actually ended up going with what came in the box. I ended up not using the additional one that I got. This is it right here. It's just this little magnetic thing with a wire, and yeah, you can see the wire there, but it tucks underneath the cab, and you can't even see it. Even if I scoot down, you can't see it when it's sitting there. And it's magnetic. It's not going to go anywhere. And then the other thing is the tonneau cover rolls up perfectly. I tested that too, and it doesn't bump the antenna or whatever, so this is fine. Now the big question is always, well, how do you get it in the vehicle? Do you have to drill a hole? All that kind of crap. Actually, it's really, really simple. This is rubber. So you just push it up against the edge of it, and I'm going to try to get in here. And you can see like the little wire like right here, barely at all. But essentially you just push it up there in the rubber, and then once you get it in the cab, you can just run it behind the back seat to the floor, and then once you get it to the floor, along the edge of the carpet here, under the plastic if you want. That's what I did. And then it ends up basically going into the seat. So let's look at the radio itself, because that's probably the next question. Now you know how the outside looks. Let's see how stealthy the inside looks. Well, the inside is actually super stealth too. The only spot in here where you can actually see it once it tunes up is right here. That's it. So this wire right here is the mic for the new radio, and this wire right here is a mic for the Cobra 75 CB radio. And if we just like open up the thing, we can pull the two radios out. So there's a Cobra 75 right there that I have a stealth install that I can show you on how to do that. And then this is the new radio, the new Midland GMSR radio that we have set up. And so this is, like I was saying, the old radio that we used to use. These right here are half a watt. This one right here will do 15 watts on the upper channels. So like way more powerful. And then the other thing is with an external antenna instead of a rubber ducky antenna, it should be like phenomenal. So we'll see. But I do like having all this stuff nicely hidden away, and you can hear the feedback. Like it's obviously working. So how did I install this? That's the next question. And when you install this, you're going to see the cable. It's going to initially seem short, but that's because this is tightly wound. If you just pull on it, it'll like straighten itself out a little bit, and it'll reach. So the question is going to be, how did I get all this installed all nice and stealthily? And where is it installed? Like, that's the next question. So what I do? Basically, I put it under the seat. I'm going to try to get under here and let you see under the seat. The red wire that you see there is actually the radio, and then you can see the antenna wire there also. How did I mount it under the seat? This is going to sound super, super ghetto. So this is a thing, the bar to move the seat forward and back. I basically zip tied it to this. And the first thing that's going to come to mind is probably you're going to think that the rails will cut the wire or something. Actually, though, if you run it the right way, it'll go with the seat. So there's no chance of the rail like running over like the wire. And then the other thing is, when you mount it, make sure the seat's all the way pushed forward, so then you don't like pull on the antenna wire. So that's pretty simple too. Just make sure that there's a little bit of slack, like basically in the cables, essentially, so then you can move the seat. So then where does the power come from? Because obviously it has to hook to the power. The power is actually really simple too. So basically, I don't know if you can see, there it is right there, you actually can. If I pull the seats apart, you'll see a red wire down there. That's a power cable, and it just goes over here to the carpeting, and then it's underneath here in the carpeting, and then you can see where I had pulled this back. We can just tuck it back in. It's underneath there, and it goes under the dash. And then what's under the dash, and there's a wire right there, that is the wiring harness that you can use that comes with the aux switches, and you can just wire it right into the aux switch cable. And there's one for the battery that you want to use, and I can put on the screen for you which one it is. For ground, there's a ground over here that you can use. And if you watch the Cobra 75 video, there's a Cobra 75 CB radio over there. So you can just tie it into the same wires that you use to install that. And it's basically done. So I mean, the freaking cable that I use to plug the phone in is more obvious than the radios. So that's the way I do it. I like to keep everything nice and kind of hidden and normal. So please like and subscribe, and we'll try to do another video for you guys on cool stuff that we mount in the Jeep. Thanks.